gonna go a bit more detail about it today and reading price action and see with the current gold market now, what's a high time frame, what's the market saying in general. So in terms of BPE, basically mean breakout, pullback, entry. So on high time frame, we had a weekly breakout, CMP breakout down here, and we know that daily had a bear breakout from here, which is, let's just delete everything. So the weekly breakout from here, and breakout is from a support or resistance level. Another word I call it AOV, because this looks like an A shape and this looks like a V shape. It's basically mean two opposite candles that form next to each other. So you got a bull candle and a bear candle, and that form once that candle's closed, that form resistant. And the opposite for the support, a bear candle and a bull candle. Once this candle closed, you have a resistant here. So you have support here, and that's a resistant. And if you look on line chart, it's like an A shape and a V shape. Some people call it apex and VPEX, whatnot. So that's how we form. That's how I look at it to form a support and a resistance. And then once a candle break that level, so say example, you got that A shape here. We draw a line across. And once that candle closes above it, which is this green candle here, to me that's a breakout to the upside. So this time frame is a weekly time frame. So for me, the weekly is break to the upside, so it's a buy breakout. And then pullback, so that's a breakout. Then pullback is one time frame lower. Always one time frame lower. So whatever time frame the pullback is one time frame higher setup. So as you can see, we got here, which is a support, kind of been break below it. There's a gap there. Well, I think that's a weekly start candle or daily. Was it daily or Tuesday, Wednesday? So that's gonna be a daily. A gap to the downside. Nevertheless, it closed below it. So that to me is a break to the downside. So that is a pullback to the weekly, because if this is daily and this is break to the downside, and the weekly is bull, so that's a forward back to the daily. So to me, I call that a VR, which is a pullback. So whatever time frame the pullback is, also mark that time frame for my roadblock. Roadblock is an area where price might have a reaction to continue with the weekly, which is bull. So we had a reaction here, as you can see, and then 4 hour, which is one time frame lower than a daily, but 2 time frame higher lower than a weekly. So to me, that's a high risk setup, because ideally low risk for me has to be 1 time frame lower to the breakout itself, which is the weekly. So this should be daily for me to be low risk, but because it's a H4 4 hour time frame, it's a high risk. But it's still okay, still valid for me. Why? Because it's happening at the roadblock. Ideally, I prefer it at the origin of the breakout, which is here. Why? Because then we got a good range to trade to. But at the roadblock's not so bad. It's still okay, still valid. So once we got there, we had a bullish break, another bullish break. So that confirmed to me what I call VR, because the daily is bear and the H4 is a VR to the daily. So it's to me is what I call a reject VR. So that's a high possibility of a setup. Then we had a H4 break to the downside, but it never closed below the original VR, which is this. So that proved to me that okay, price was going to go up. And I mentioned it in one of the videos on one group chat last week, or on Sunday, so we're going to do a Sunday review with my group, that I'm expecting price to come up to here at least, because this is because this is a H4 break to the upside. We had daily downside. H4 would be my roadblock, just the same as the daily was to a downside for the weekly, and my daily SNR level engulfing things like that, any kind of key level, that's my roadblock. So that's a 7-hour time frame. So you got H4 to the upside, daily's bear, so this will be my roadblock. So I thought this will be my first TP, and I mentioned that I'm expecting price to go higher, reason being because weekly's bull, monthly's bull, daily bear was just a phase 2 of my weekly bull. So I did say I'll take about 80% off here and let it run. Reason being because, like I said, I'm expecting price to go up even further. But as we get to the original breakout, which is here, and then the CMP breakout, which is here, that's the original breakout for the pullback, and then this is a continued breakout to the downside. So that's, if you're looking at, that's a, then you got support, which can be brought to the downside. So I'm expecting some kind of pullback now, to be fair, and then check CMP what you want to do, because this zone itself on a H4 and a H1 was a fresh zone for me. We got some fresh SNR level 2, and here and that. And in terms of like, a run, this is kind of expect, well, in H4 anyway. You got, so I expected some kind of pullback. I did thought it would do it here, but it didn't have much reaction. But they ended in there, so I'm expecting that to be kind of some sort of pullback, and then if you want to continue, then it will show me. But that was my expectation. But with BPE, we just have to check CMP, because it's all about breakout. So one candle can break out, change the direction. So right now, I was saying in my private group that I'm not looking to buy now, because I do expect to pull back, and also we are at a key level, which is H4 level, daily, or the breakout, whatnot. So my buy, I will leave it run now, but I'm not looking to add any more buy. But if we look at a lower time frame today for any setup, you can see that after this M30, where was it? It was in London. After this M30 breakout, so down here had some buy, reason being because we still had a good range from here to what I thought was my first TP. Down here, I think it was over 200 pip. So it was here. This is, it says 2:30. I'm using London time. I mean New York time zone. So this to me was when I woke up. Just after I woke up, which was 7:30. So when I got up, we were just done this M30 break to upside. And like I said, I'm expecting a buy, reason because my target was here. We had on a high time frame, as I discussed earlier. We had this here, high risk to the weekly buy at roadblock. So that was a valid for me. So that's why on M30 I was looking to stack some more entry here. So after this M30 break, what do? We do the same again. All time frames, price all factors, all time frames the same. So as much as I do a H4 and H1 for my direction, my setup M15 is the same. So after this M30 break here, this is the breakout of this candle. So this candle is a kind of like a pullback. So you got a breakout, this will be pullback. So I jump onto low time frame. M15 never give me a pullback, so I know straight away M30 is not my setup, because as I said earlier, whatever time frame pullback is one time frame higher setup. So I check an M5, and still no pullback. As you can see, pullback is got a break below resistance, right? So the lowest resistance is here. Nothing break through that. M1, however, though, did give me a pullback. So where were we? Here we go. This is, if I mark the area, then we can let's find out more. Let's get rid of this first. So this was the M30 breakout. So we're playing with this area. Like I said, M15 nothing, M5 nothing, no pullback here. Nothing. So M1. M1. We had when see this white line, that's when new candle start. So we look for it after this new candle. We look for when it confirmed. M1 pullback. So as the M1, yeah, it's my alert. I got this indicator that showed me the alert for price balancing. So let me turn it off. Sorry. Yeah, it's one of my indicators that give me alert for price balancing and imbalance, things like that. But yeah, okay. So like I say, M1 pullback. So once you see the M1 pullback, we know more. It's an M5 setup basically because it was always one time frame lower. So whatever time frame breakout is. Can you? What time? Oh, okay. Someone's hacking this, yeah. So this is a VR. This is a pullback, and then you got CF confirmation. On 1 minute, I tend to enter the candle close. Stop loss, not much. But there's another system that I use. You want to get a 2 to 1, and if it goes against my trend, but it wasn't going against my trend, so I was ready to hold it because my high time frame target was here. So, but if it was going against my trend and I wanted 2 to 1, I would have do it different. I would have used my fibs. And if this is my entry box, and let's say this is my normal, my TP, if it's against my trend, then I'll be doing, get my fib out, mark my fib there. This is my 2 to 1, I always go for 2 to 1, so what I do is I move that down to when that get to 2 to 1, which is here, and then my entry will be here. So I won't be entering there. When price comes down, I'll enter here. Just the only thing that changes my entry, my TP, my stop loss all remain the same. But I didn't do that today because that was going against the trend. But this is going with the trend, and I know that in my head my TP was here because in my head this is where I expect price to go. So yeah, so I entered there, and then we had another setup, but I didn't enter it because I was doing a live stream with my student, so I missed that. But it was happening while we are doing it, so it's after this M30 breakout here. So obviously, this M30 was a breakout that I actually went, and then once price done this other M30 breakout. Once price done this other M30 breakout, there's an M3 setup. So this is the next step. So I'll look at that up, and then as we were just marking chart and going through price, and then we didn't see nothing, and then we saw M3. Here you go. Gave us a pullback, and gave us a confirmation, and M1, M3, M5 I always enter on the kind of close, and then M15 and M30 wise I would wait for pullback and whatnot. Obviously the stop loss would be bigger due to the time, and that was another setup there. So a similar pattern over and over again in terms of like pullback, breakout, pullback, entry on all time frame. So high time frame is more of direction and the bigger picture, like I said today about the chase for breakthrough upside after coming to the roadblock. The roadblock, why is that a roadblock? Like I said earlier, we had a daily pull to the downside, so that's a pullback. So daily level with a roadblock, price coming to roadblock, chase for come to the upside. 2 breaks upside, we get VR. This gave us a confirmation, but it never closed below this, so that sell was gone. So I knew that we were going to buy, and from Friday I knew my target was here. that was what I call a hidden base gap on level east side. And yeah, so right now, like I said, I'm just holding 20%. I'm not adding no buy because we are at the origin of the breakout, which is the daily. Oh, close it. Okay, let's get rid of it. Yeah, I'm not adding. I'm looking to add no more buy, even though I do expect price to break through this because we buy we in a bullish trend in monthly, weekly, and these cycles complete in terms of like weekly buy, daily bear, H4 confirmation, high risk as a 2 time frame lower, but it's at roadblock, so it's good. So I can expect that, but I'll back of my mind, it's not done yet because the daily setup is you got daily bear and then H4 bull. So if the daily want to get done and then come down here, then that's possible. But that's just back of my mind, you know. So there's always like different scenario that I have in the back of my mind when I'm looking at the market. And nevertheless, right now let's see setup, and I probably wouldn't, like I said, I'm not gonna take it. We are a place where I call it a danger zone, especially when it's fresh. You hateful whenever it come there, and this is the continuous daily breakout, and then that was a original daily breakout to a downside, both of them. So and after 3 o'clock we had the news, but other than that, today I didn't expect London to give this much. I think they give over 200 pips due to be bank holiday and whatnot, but it did still quite move, so I was quite a bit shocked about that, to be honest. Yeah, because I woke up early, but then after a certain time I thought it's not gonna move now. But I had my entry from like around 7 to 8, and then I just left it. But yeah, going forward, what do I think? Well, there's a two possibility. Because daily we got break to a downside, H4 to upside. So on a daily, this is a phase 2. Daily cycle's not complete yet. On a weekly, we got break to upside, daily to a downside, which is this weekly. Sorry, that's wrong. H4 to the upside, but H4 here in the middle of the range. But it was valid because it was at the roadblock. We had a daily level zone here at the roadblock, which is this here. So yeah, price can go forward, can go continue up and continue with the rest, and then maybe break out on a daily level, which would be one addition to confirm this here to complete the weekly low risk. Or you can still H4 give us a CF for this daily setup and come down, because we still got this range from the weekly and daily. So that's just high time frame, bigger picture back of my head. But low time frame setup, and I think that's what I do. My A plus setup is something like I tend to follow, because A plus, and I'm trying to stick with that now. I've been like sometimes get impatient and and just go through it. But here's my A plus setup. So I have a 1 cycle complete, ideally on H4 on daily cycle. So this is daily, and this H4 H4, or this is H4 H1 H1. Then I have M30 as well. So I got 2 cycle, and this is my A plus setup. When I got 2 cycle time frame sequence as well. Time frame sequence basically mean H4 H1 H1 M30 M30. There's no gap between it. And not time frame sequence is H4 H1 H1 and M5 M5. You see that it's missing M50 and M30, because sometimes market do that. Market doesn't give you yeah, I do on lower time frame, and I'll tell you that in a bit, and I'll be on easy a bit. Yeah, so if it's time frame sequence, brilliant, bang on. If it's not a time frame sequence, I only scalp. But if it's with a trend, I scalp. I close 70, 80, and then leave the runner. If it hit my continue, then I move my training stop. If not, But no, after I take out 70, 80, I move my stop loss to break even anyway. So I'm risk free. But that's when it's not time frame sequence. So like I said, time frame sequence when the time frame jump from H1 here to F5, for example. Why is it still going on? Why delete that indicator? I need to check this out. Okay. What else is there? How do I turn it off? That didn't matter. And yeah, so when it comes to time frame sequence, I'm holding it. I'm holding my TP because my first TP would be in here. But this is the original breakout setup, you know. And then, depending on the weekly day or high time frame bias, then I know what I want to do. RSI, yeah. RSI is ideally good for high risk. Example, if we have, I've got an example that did, no, I didn't have that one turned. But example, high risk, right? You got this is entry only, yeah. Obviously, for me to enter, I already had a high time frame cycle complete. So okay, example, H4, H1, H1, and then M5 pullback, for example. Yeah, that M5 pullback means to me this the next cycle is gonna be M15. Because like I said, this is always one time frame lower than this. Yeah. So now, once that M5 pullback, I always check the RSI because for me to buy now, I want it to be overbought. Oh, sorry, oversold. So the RSI is below 20. That's why I got this 20-10 mark. At the pullback time frame. So M5 time frame. And then price. So now when the price come down here at the origin, the RSI is that come down to here on this time frame, on the M5 time frame. So this is M15, M5, but then I jump to M1 and look for a confirmation. So we got M15, M5, M1, yeah. So this is high risk because it's 2 time frame lower than the breakout, but this is a good setup because I already had high time frame cycle complete. This is high risk, but confirm even stronger is RSI on oversold M1 break to upside, confirm that would miss out because why I like high risk on M15, M1 and M5 because there's always a good range to trade from, you know, because if you wait for M5 to have low risk, the range not that good, the ratio is not that good because normally when you're doing this, you're not confident you can again you're gonna have to scalp it, you know, and your TP will be first fresh level on M5, you know. So, well, obviously if time is sequent, your TP is up here. So RSI is mainly for that. But there's other factor that I checked on my breakout here. If it's a good breakout, you know, you got like candlestick pattern, doji, reverse free candle bars, FU candle, EFEG, stuff like that, you know. So I'm always reading chart, you know. Like earlier we had this up here which was coming to H4 level. First it coming here first into my TP area. Now this is, did I take it out? What's this? Oh sorry, yeah. So when price come up here, I was checking to see any reaction would take place here. But from reading price action at M1, there was no sorts of sell for me because like I said, this is my TP and this is my zone. So there's nothing, no break to the downside, no nothing. Yeah, you might have a doji and a free candle bottom, but that free candle pattern didn't close below this week. And there's no FU candle, but there was a bullish FU candle. FU candle is like a manipulation candle. So basically, take the low and take the high. In this case, it took the low and then come up and take the high, but this is a bullish FU candle. So if it was gonna show me that it's gonna sell, it would wanna break below that, you know. but instead it break above it, so it showed me that you want to continue buying. So then come up here, which is another level. I'll show you. And then I was also looking, because you have a level here, because this is wick, both sides similar. I'm sure H1 we had level. We've got gap, we've got level here. And then when price got there, I was just checking it. Like just checking here, see what if I can get any sell. You know, sales a bit risky at the moment because I'm thinking, okay, we buy bullish buy, and if I see any sell pattern, then I'm closing my runner. But I didn't see no sell. I mean, look, ideally, I would like to see M5 break to the downside first. That's number one, and then number two is just looking up candlestick pattern. So here you got nothing. Then you got this here. But it never really showed me any bearish movement. It's just sideways, and obviously also, you know, the time of the day is not ideal. So not really show me anything to sell. And if anything, it actually showed me a buy on M15. It had to break the upside here, and then but price give me a low time frame setup on this 2 week here, but I didn't take it. So that was that. And then it gave me an M15 sell here, but why did I not take that? I'll tell you why. This is something that is what's the word? Quite crucial. For breakout, for me to also confirm a strong breakout, I want it to give me an EG breakout. This here, even though it break out to the downside here, but kind of closer below this support, as you can see, VPEG support. It never gave me EG breakout. A candle's got to close below that. You know, that's another thing that's a bit more advanced. You know, that's something that is confirmed to me the breakout or not. You know, this is don't know why I mentioned that. Yeah. But yeah, this is what I tend to look for mainly when it's an EG breakout. You know, so even though we had, if you look at it, really it did close below that, but just a bit more advanced. I want to see for me to be a solid breakout or a better very good possibility breakout is that you give me an EG breakout. You know, so like even now, like you've got this breakout here, but to me I wouldn't go for that because look, that's weak there. It never really goes above it. So hence price just going sideways now, and I don't think it's gonna do anything to him. Probably about news. What time is it? 1:30 news, kind of that. That's it. I think that's for people that watch this and not understand BPM. I think you probably get a bit more now. Understand a bit more. Did that explain your question about ISI, AJ? In terms of like, I will enter high risk with overbought and oversold, and overbought oversold is on the pullback time frame. No worries. Okay, let's just have a look at EU. Yeah, overall goal for me right now, still holding my runners, and I'm not gonna look to add any buy yet until I see any strong confirmation. I did have a level mark on the H1 and M30 back here. I thought price would come back and give me if it give me a better pullback. This H1 breakout here. Why? EG breakout, break a through level, and then we had M30, we had a fresh level as well. But I marked that if you come back there, I might look for something. But overall, like prices gone too high now. Yeah, I trade not this first one, this second one I trade from back here from last week, and I hold that. But this one in the morning I add on a bit of trade. But this I missed this M3 setup here. Even though I'm not sure my student called it, I think he said it did because I was busy doing educational and didn't take it, and he there saw me mark it and look at it and then took it. Okay, EU. Okay, I always check high time frame first, see what price do. I think EU is the same to gold. if I remember right, because I checked yesterday. I mean, I know that weekly was bullish, and then daily we've done a bearish break. There you go. This is not much different to weekly. The only, I mean, to the gold. The only different that it never come down to the roadblock and go up. But what it did the same with it also did a continuous daily break to the downside. You're expecting short on gold. Oh no, with this alert. Yeah, I'll come back to that. And then I can discuss why I was bullish on that. On gold. So yeah, so weekly bull got a good range here. We are at really high on the weekly breakout. This is starting to annoy me now. I'm gonna cancel this. I had an indicator on that. It was really good. One of my friends recommended in terms of like price rebalance and new level form. But since I put it on, took out the indicator, it's still here. Right, never mind. Weekly bull, daily bear, VR, another reject VR price coming to the VR zone, never close above it, come back close below it. So now the CMP breakout is here. This to this here. And I believe you got H4 break to the upside by the looks of it, yeah. So we got H4 break to the upside from here. From there, let's see what that doji is about. Okay, possibly here as well. Yeah, that look like a bullish candle. Let's see. So price done a bullish breakout here again. So to me, that's like a VR pullback. It's not a reject pullback because price never come into this and reject this level. Wasn't that far off, but that's what it was. And then CMP now, yeah, you got 28 minutes before H4 candle close, but price is again close to the daily breakout to the downside anyway. Here, this is the continuous break to the downside. So I didn't really tap to the roadblock. Why this is a hidden base, I don't like this kind of hidden base reason. To me, I like both wicks be the same on each side in terms of the length. That to come down here, just the same length, this here. But yeah, price have not really tapped into the roadblock. Only did form this roadblock, tap into that and got a reject from it. But ideally, I would prefer it to come down a bit lower. Because just because of the weekly, we got this range. Because obviously daily is bear now, and so daily bear is a pullback to the weekly, and the weekly breakout was down here, so that would be some sort of range. So we're still slightly premium. So I would ideally like to see H4 go bear, but in terms of CMP, H4, H1 still bullish. So if you got, I talk about my A plus setup. Look, you got H4 to the upside, H1 to the downside. There, the H1 to the upside. So that's one cycle, and then you would have M30, and then M30. So that's to the upside. H1 put it to the downside. That's like what you call a H4, because you've got H4 break to downside as well. Every time you look at breakout, you gotta basically play along with the narrative, just as you look on any time frame or any zone or any direction. What's the narrative behind it? And right now, for me, the narrative for me is price trying to get back here. Then it would decide. Like I always have a high time frame zone where I think price would want to go to. And then once you get there, then I reconsider, and then also look at certain breakout and certain different type of breakout, and I do look at the time of the movement, the time of the interval at the time of the day, was in London, was in New York, or just middle of nowhere, you know. But then you know who's come to play. Because if the market start to move here, and this is 1 o'clock, so what's that? That's when London closed, maybe 1 o'clock, 6 o'clock, yeah. Uh, New York lunch. So to me, that's not really significant. But sometimes you look at most of the movies start at London or New York. Ideally, mainly about 21, which is Tokyo and Shanghai open. 2-3, which is London, and then 7-8, which is New York. Especially on gold. Gold been moving a lot in Asia lately. So for me, for now on EU, just wait for this candle close. That is your EG breakout. 24 minute. Okay, not too long. Where's your roadblock? Because daily's bear, right? H4 is bull. H4 level. Your roadblock. We're at roadblock now. And then if you're talking about in terms of like, it's not the best price action. I thought it would have been that, but look at this wick here. That must be news maybe. Was that Friday 9 o'clock? NFP, right? That must be NFP. 8:30 is NFP. So this will be in up and down on Friday for the NFP. We've been naming this here. And then made the third run. So I want to see what happened when the price tap here. Probably would expect some kind of pullback. And if you want to continue down or continue up, I mean, continue down for me because due to the narrative that weekly with bull, daily with bear, but we are quite high up. And the bull narrative would be because this is still bull. Weekly is bull. H4 is high risk to weekly. Even though I prefer if we touch this kind of roadblock here on this side. This is a new form of roadblock that they created after the pullback. My kind of roadblock would be ideal when on the leg went up. You know? But then it did make this one as well. So overall bearish short term, a 1 hour, 4 hour. I won't be surprised if it gives you break to the downside more because daily's got to reject VR. Price won't reject VR. Price might come back here and then because if we look at this time frame, what it's doing is that. So can you give it a third push down here? That's like my high time frame stuff that I do. I look for narrative and see where it goes. So I hope that answers it. Not really. I wouldn't look for any setup yet, just because we're here. Maybe yeah, we have roadblock. Maybe if they give you a low time frame setup, but at the same time H1 and H4 give you a EG breakout. So if they give you any sell setup, it will be just scalping to around this zone. This H1's not closed yet, but see if that closes, but that would be an EG breakout, something that I like to look at. Any zone market. This zone is good. 1 level, 2 level. So yeah, this zone is good. Hence why this wick here on Friday. But I don't trade forex pair, so I didn't. No, this is. I'm just looking at it now. Hindsight look. But as you guys know, it's an audio from the group on my previous public Telegram group that you've seen why I would mark this zone in terms of 2-3 breakout, EFEG, whatnot. So that would have been. Can we reframe it? This doji. This FU is more better. Can we reframe that? Because this lady here. This lady here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That would have been ideal. Because back here, it will be mitigated. Fresh level. And this is the one that actually break it. So yeah, if they give you sell setup, because we're at this is zone again, and the last time was here, that push down. What time was it? 9 o'clock. That's New York. That's when the New York boy come in. 9:30. 9:30. What's that? 2:30. Yeah, that's 2:30. So that would have been on Friday. Oh yeah, that would have been NFP for sure. Do you have NFP? No, 1:30 at NFP, right? 1:30. So what I was doing the new so on the NFP here, this one spike up into that zone and come down. Um, but even they give me M5 setup here, I would not take it. I'm now just confident A plus setup, which I'm gonna be going YouTube live now from tomorrow onwards. So I wanna put it out there and see if because I think I listened to I think you guys listened to it, didn't you? Last week. By the way, Thomas, that was a great podcast last week, and it got me thinking. I'll tell you what it got me thinking. Accountable. I remember when I opened my public channel. In January. I started on January the 14th, and in that channel, I believe I done alright. And the reason for that because obviously I'm opening out there to the public, and I know that you guys are, basically accountable. Everyone seeing my trade, so I was only doing ideally good setup or marking good zone. And but since I closed that now, I've been kind of like, not the best. It's still alright, it's still profit, but not the best. Like I've been blowing profit from account. But personal account I'll do alright, but profit account I just can't seem to back. And I feel like because no one's there to look at my what I'm doing, be accountable for it. And I only got that because of your podcast last week. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna go on YouTube live now and just put it out there and go live basically. I tested that this morning with one in my group, and yeah, and that's what I'm gonna do. Inshallah, hopefully from tomorrow onward, if I should be free. So yeah, I think that's ideal. Be accountable for what we do, because that would obviously make us be picky about our setup in it. Because obviously we don't want others to see, us doing bad trade or even having stop loss. Because So yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. After I think I'm glad I listened to the podcast on Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, it's Friday. So yeah, that's something I learned from that day. Yeah, it's a great podcast. So EU, that was that. So hope that helped, AJ. Going back to gold, you saying you're bullish, and I'll tell you why I was. So you're bearish to start off with, but then I was bullish from Friday. Reason being, as soon as I knew we had a VR to a daily, because daily is bear, right? And then you had price at the wall block, right? So yeah, wall block's a nice area, but that did not really confirm for me. What confirmed for me was this here. We had a VR, we reject VR, and then we have a CF price never closed below the VR, and then it gave us a bullish candle. So from there I thought, okay, next week it's gonna go bull. We had a setup in here, it's gonna go bull. So we had a H4, H1, H1, then we had M4, then we had two cycle setup, then we had a M1, M1, then M30 setup, M30, 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 and from there we just buy. And so overall I was bullish because this here never closed below this VR. We already had the VR reject. Narrative was weekly bullish at roll block, and then this never closed below, because this was when price seller was trying to come in and trying to force one down, but buy was too strong, hence why they closed within this area. And so to me, that I knew that, I know you never 100% sure, but to me I was 80-90% thinking, okay, buys are strong now. And Thank God he did worse. But where are we now? Still not tapping to this fresh level. This is 9 o'clock. Okay, let's see if we can close above this. So this is where the start of the push and the New York boy pushed this down. You know, so if they can close above that, let's see. So I don't know, anyone got any more question? Was it a bit more useful today? You know, bank holiday, so the missus want to go out, so can't stay on for too long, but I thought I'd do a educational one today because I knew I wasn't gonna do anything good in terms of setup because we were at this level here, this what you call a danger zone for me, roll block, because even though market's bullish, we're at this level here. Cheers, bro. Thank you. So yeah, so even if they give me a setup, I was not going to enter like 5 minutes of setup. I wasn't going to enter today. Well, where price is at now anyway. Because I think okay, look like yeah. Here's some kind of setup. Yeah, you got M5 rated offside. I think M15 was offside too. Okay, so you got M15 break, M5 break, M15 break. So after the M5 break, you had an M1 pullback. No confirmation, no confirmation, confirmation here. What's that? So yeah, candle close. 10 pips with that. I mean, not worth it. Only because like we are this bloody danger zone. But you look earlier when price is down here and give you setup, it flies, right? You still got good range to go to. There was no roadblocks there in term. No, it was clear traffic, innit? Look what this is clear traffic. You know, when you see this on the left, there's clear traffic price come down. When you get a setup for buy, price gonna come back the same way. It has to come down. First, if it doesn't, then you know it's weak. Buy is weak. So, okay, guys. Anyone got any other question? Anything you want me to look at or talk about, or anything that I explained to you that you not quite understand or you're not sure, or you want me to explain again? You know. If not, we call it as that. And yeah, hopefully I see you next week or something.